Hey everyone, and welcome. We're going to do a little work in our financial gardens today, and I've got some amazing news for you. Seriously, you can put your calculators away because growing your wealth, it's not about complicated math problems. Nope. It's about something way cozier, something we all already have, a little bit of heart. Okay, but does thinking about money just make your head spin? Ugh, I totally get it. It's like finance feels like this giant, scary math test that nobody ever gave us the notes for, right? It can make you feel super anxious. But here's the really good news. That whole feeling, it's built on a myth. And today, we are going to plant some brand new, super friendly seeds of truth. All right, let's get right into it. Our very first step is to gently, pull out the biggest weed that's been growing in our financial garden. And that's the myth, the idea that you have to be some kind of math whiz to build wealth. It's just not true. And it's an idea that stops so many people from ever letting their own beautiful future bloom. So check this out. For like decades, the old way of thinking about finance was based on this super rigid idea. It's called the efficient markets hypothesis. And it basically pretends that we're all perfect little robots who always make 100% logical choices with our money. Can you believe that? But the truth, the new finance, it's so much cozier. It's called behavioral finance, and it gets it. It knows we're human beings, full of our own quirks and feelings and stories that shape everything we do. Oh my gosh. Yes, this right here. This quote from Morgan Housel is literally the golden key that unlocks this entire idea. It's not about what you know, it's about how you behave. It's about doing the simple, consistent, gentle things. Our habits, that's our real superpower. Seriously, just letting this one idea sink in can completely change how you see your entire financial journey. Okay, so where does that lead us? Well, now we get to the really fun part. We're going to take a little peek inside our own brains. Think of it like looking at our mind's secret settings. The default modes we all have that quietly guide how we feel and what we do when it comes to money. So let's officially say hello to our new best friend, behavioral finance. You can think of it as this beautiful, delightful meeting point between psychology and money. It's all about understanding how our totally normal human emotions and quirks act like an invisible hand guiding our decisions. And the best part? It doesn't judge us for being human. It just helps us understand ourselves better so we can work with our nature instead of fighting against it. And here's a perfect example of one of those secret settings. It's called loss aversion. Okay, just think about this for a sec. How would you feel if you lost a $20 bill? Pretty awful, right? You'd be so bummed. Now, how would you feel if you found a $20 bill? It'd be great, for sure, but that happy feeling probably isn't as intense as the awful feeling of losing it was. That's loss aversion in a nutshell. The pain of losing something just feels way more powerful than the joy of gaining the exact same thing. And you can see here just how powerful that feeling is. That fear of losing, it can make us way too cautious. It's kind of like having a shy little mushroom in our financial garden that ducks and hides every time a cloud passes overhead. I mean, sometimes being careful is a good thing, but if we're always hiding, our little investments might not get the sunshine and rain they really need to grow big and strong. Ooh, I love this, because this next part is my absolute favorite secret ingredient. We're shifting from looking inside our minds to looking at the magic of the garden itself. We're talking about the incredible, amazing power of patience and just time. The most powerful force in all of finance isn't some crazy complicated formula. It's actually a tiny magic seed called compounding. And please, don't think of it as a math problem. Instead, I want you to picture planting a tiny seed. You give it a little water, but mostly you just let it be. And with time, that little seed quietly, almost magically, grows into a giant, beautiful tree full of fruit, pretty much all on its own. Okay, whoa. Take a look at this number, $84.2 billion. That's just mind-boggling. What in the world could that possibly be? It feels impossibly huge, doesn't it? Just kind of sit with that for a second before we tell you the incredible story behind it. So get this, that's how much of Warren Buffett's net worth was built after his 50th birthday. Isn't that wild? Most of his massive fortune didn't come from being a young genius investor. It came from letting his magic compounding tree have decades and decades to just grow. His real superpower wasn't some off-the-charts IQ, it was his patience. That is just so encouraging. It really means that time can be on our side too.
But Buffett's story also points to something else really important. His true wealth wasn't just the final number. It was in all those decades of assets just quietly growing, completely unseen. So for this next part, let's put on some magic glasses, because we're going to learn how to see the invisible parts of wealth, the parts that actually matter the most.
Okay, so when you hear the word wealthy, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably, flashy cars, giant houses, expensive designer stuff, right? We immediately picture all the things money can buy. But what if we looked at it a little differently? Because that stuff, that's not actually wealth. That's just spending. It's what's left after money has been spent. It's like seeing only the very tip of an iceberg, while the real power, the real substance, is all hidden just below the surface. And this right here is the heart of it all. True wealth is the part you don't see. It's the money that hasn't been spent yet. It's your savings, your investments that are quietly growing. It's the financial security that gives you options and freedom and, just peace of mind. Wealth is all the wonderful potential you've been storing up for your future. Which brings us perfectly to our final and, I think, coziest section. Now that we have all these beautiful ideas, how do we actually use them? How can we take this warm, gentle wisdom and start cultivating our own wonderfully unique, rich lives? Because really, this is the ultimate goal, isn't it? The real prize isn't just a big number in a bank account. Nope. The absolute best thing money can give you is control over your own time. It's the freedom to wake up and say, I can do whatever I want today. That is the richest life you can possibly have. So how do we start walking down that path? Well, Morgan Housel gives us 3 really beautiful, simple steps. First, leave a little room for error, a margin of safety, because life is beautifully unpredictable. So just plan on your plan not going exactly according to plan. Second, save money without a specific goal in mind. Just save for the sake of saving. This builds a wonderful safety net for all of life's surprises. And finally, number 3, aim for a plan that feels reasonable to you. Not one that's mathematically perfect, but one you can joyfully stick with for a long, long time. So what's the big takeaway from all this? It's that finance isn't cold, hard math. It's warm, human psychology. Your feelings, your unique story, your habits, those are your most powerful tools. So I'll just leave you with this little seed of a thought to take with you. Now that you know your feelings are your greatest financial superpower, what kind of beautiful, sparkling future are you going to grow?